Yo, Eric, we're over here on the Paranormal hunt, and I headed over to this other building, and it's number 13. I was just telling Ron, my God.
Man, it's a lovely, lovely Friday going into the weekend. I saw a slasher movie last night. When I saw Scream, if you like Scream 5, you're probably going to like Scream 6. But it's pretty amazing nowadays that I'm learning that, man, if you get stabbed here, you get stabbed in the stomach, you get stabbed on the side, you can still walk around at the end of the movie. Like you know.
In a movie.
In a movie. I know it's a movie, right? And trust me, I had this argument. What about Jason Michael Myers? Yeah, but they're the evil. They're like the undead. These are regular people, young kids getting stabbed. They're gonna cry like a little bitch and a little baby going to the hospital. All right, they're not gonna be walking around at the end of the movie. But beyond that, you know, Scream's a Scream. Good old horror movie. It's a horror movie. So
was the original cast in it, Eric?
What's that?
Like Courtney Cox and the guy that played Dewey. Were they in it?
Courtney Cox was in it, but of course, Doobie or her ex-husband, he died in the last one. And
yeah, I don't know.
And Neve Campbell, who stars in all the other ones, she wasn't in this because they didn't offer her the money that she felt she deserved. She felt like they were shafting her because she's a woman, not a guy, which I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they offer her. I don't know. So she wasn't in it. They mentioned her name, but that's about it. But guys, how can we prove that UFOs from another planet, not the UFOs around here? I'm not talking about the ones that could be a bird, could be a drone. I'm talking about the the number one thing, the spaceship from another freaking planet. How can we prove that? I'm not talking about if you have a flying saucer go in your backyard and land right there and shake your hands. Of course, that's good proof. But what is it going to take to prove to the world without a UFO landing in your backyard? Is it pictures still or video? The problem with video is, yes, cameras do get better, but so does editing. So does faking it.
So does CGI.
CGI gets better. I mean, God damn, you guys see people on YouTube now, the face, what do you call that? The face.
Oh, the deep fake.
The deep fakes are getting so much better and better. Yeah. Not just Hollywood, people themselves. So it's like, what is it going to take now? Now, Ron, everybody always says, "Well, we're going to need DNA." But this thing is, Ron, how many would you think to do DNA? Right? If you get a DNA off a brand new species, the report probably says they have an unknown thing. So you need multiple to be able to even use DNA. How much DNA do we think we need if there was a UFO alien that they're taking it from?
You don't need nothing, hardly anything. They could take DNA from a drop of blood.
Skin sample, anything.
I know, but okay, like ancestors, right? If you send your DNA to have a connection, you got to have other family members and stuff to turn in their DNA to start to develop the match.
That's
so
to create the tree.
Had one alien UFO, there's no other DNA to match it with. So that one,
if you got DNA from an alien, that'd just be a game changer because their DNA is totally different from ours. So
I know, but what if they just put? This is the thing. What if they just put unknown, and then everybody's gonna say, "Oh, it's unknown." That's not proof.
Well, I mean, if you're actually physically taking it from an alien, it's going to be a known specimen because you're going to physically have the specimen, right?
No, that's what I was going to try to get at, is that when they go to match up the DNA and they put it against all the databases, if it's an extraterrestrial that's not from here, there should be no match.
Right, but once you have the body in a lab, right?
Yeah, it's going to match itself.
Right,
That's
but
it.
you're going to start to catalog what you're getting from it.
No, what the thing is, when you get no, when you have people, if so, let's say us three right here, if they take a DNA from each three of us, that's three of us in the database.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you get an extraterrestrial and you grab his DNA, that's it. So if it doesn't match a human DNA genome, then he's the only one in the database.
Right, but you're going to start to learn what's in its system and how its chemical compound and how it's made up.
Oh yeah, but like DNA matching it up with all this stuff, you won't
You can't
know. I
match
mean,
it.
unless it
What can
has
you match
any
it with?
mixer.
It's a totally different being. You can't match. That's just like Bigfoot DNA. When you get that, it comes back unknown. They can't match that to anything either.
And that's what I mean. If somebody says an ET, somebody could just say, "No, that's probably not an ET. It's probably a Bigfoot." They wouldn't know because it's unknown until you get a variety of them. But the thing is,
Yeah, maybe they don't have DNA.
Right? Maybe they don't.
maybe they're different. Yeah, maybe it doesn't show up on our stuff.
Exactly.
That is true.
Maybe it shows that we're 96. You know how they say chimpanzees are like 96 to 98% human, like the DNA match? Maybe we're 96, 98% them. Maybe we're the chimpanzees to them.
Maybe.
And let's be honest. Say we say three of us have an alien. I mean, I wonder how much would it even cost? Because you probably want to do the best DNA test on it.
Everything.
the good one.
Yeah.
How much would that even cost us to do a DNA, a good one? 'Cause, I mean, I don't know who's good, who's bad, but you know what I mean. At a respectable place, was it
It's
$5,000?
only a few $100.
$10,000?
You send it to labs. I mean, the thing is this, the process is basically the same anywhere when they're going to check DNA. If you want it broken down to whatever, I mean, it depends where you go. It could cost a few hundred. It could cost you a few thousand. It's like there's a veterinarian place. There's a pet hospital right over here that the pills cost $300 for tick pills. But if you go about a county or two over, they're $60. You know what I mean? It depends where you go. You know what I mean? But it's all the same stuff, really. It's not like this other place has this. They may have better technology, some that could do it maybe a little faster, but it all comes down to the same stuff, basically.
And also,
I mean, if you take anything Emery Smith ever said with a grain of salt, which we don't, but he said that when he was working for the government, they used to have pieces of extraterrestrials come in like on almost like a conveyor belt. So like a window would open and a finger would come in, and then he would take skin samples, blood samples, this sample, that, and then he would dissect it and send it to all these different components throughout the laboratory. And nobody, everybody would get their own thing to study and research, right? But if that was possible, all of that would be categorized right now. You would be able to find it somewhere, or you would be able to get a FOIA request to find out what their chemical compound was and all that. And there is none of that. So that's why his story falls apart. It's all BS, unless it's top secret classified stuff. But the guy was an EMT, an alcoholic, and he never worked for the government. I mean, his fiance came out and ratted him out on that. But if they did do it, I would assume that's how they would do it. Compartmentalized.
I don't know this, but maybe you guys might have heard of this, or maybe Ron, you heard of it. Okay, we find a DNA place, say, I don't know, $200, doesn't matter. We go in there, we pay it, and they find something unknown. I wonder if they have a procedure where if they find anything that's unknown, they have to set it up first before they even get back with you. I mean, I don't know, like they have to tell the state or they have to tell the federal, because I would think they'll say, the state would say, well, we got to know that unknown ain't going to hurt other people, or any kind of excuse. I wonder if it has to go up before they even tell you.
I would assume that, let's say you had an actual extraterrestrial body, right? Let's say I went on the beach and I found an actual little dead alien, right? And I pick this little guy up, I bag him, and I bring him, to a facility, a laboratory to get tested. I wouldn't be surprised if they shut the whole laboratory down. The CDC came, quarantined everything off, put me in a separate room, ran all kinds of tests on me just for finding a specimen like that from off-world. You don't know what kind of germs or diseases they're carrying, or what they could spread to the human race, or if we could spend mitochondrial DNA back and forth. You don't know none of that stuff, so I'm sure they would shut the whole thing down.
Yeah. I wonder if like
Ron just got a body shipped to him in the box there, an alien body.
I bet you guys are never gonna know what this is. Right, look at the size of this
new place. Is it some kind of a toy?
Is it a sex toy?
Anthony, come on! Like I told you to keep that between us. All right.
Come on, Ron.
Like
I just wonder if we would get actually visit by.
Yeah, no, I ordered the swing. They forgot the straps.
God, I would have given you zip ties.
Can you imagine? Right? We get a knock on the door, a Men in Black saying, "Huh, where did you get this DNA from?"
Mike says it's a flesh light.
All right. What do you think? What do you think I ordered?
Opening up
I know it. I think I know what it is.
What the hell's in the box
screen?
then?
What?
Is it the green screen?
No.
Hold on.
Yeah, I just want to see what if anybody guessed it out there. No.
Yeah, because you can't show.
Oh my God, he's got 5,000 Sour Patch grapes. Talk about a kid in a candy store.
Are they really Sour Patch?
He ordered a whole thing of Sour Patch grape.
The green screen comes tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
And the new desk.
I want you to know now you got me craving Sour Patch grape.
Okay, so we know that DNA is probably the best, but the place you're sitting into, can we even trust them to tell us the results? I mean, that's something we don't know. But beyond that, what else can we do to prove that a UFO from another planet, not the ones here, not the drones, that are real without having one landing in your backyard? What is it going to take?
Say that one more time.
What's it going to take what do we need, you think, for the average person to believe that UFO and other planets are real? What's it going to take?
You're probably going to need a craft to break down in a park, and we can go get it, and study it. Because I look at it this way, right? There's footage all over the place, but none of it's like 4K dynamite, crystal clear footage. We never get that. And if we do get it, it's fake. You know what I mean? So we haven't had that yet. And most of the world has not physically seen a craft, where they say, oh man, that's real deal, where it changes their life. So I think you're going to have an actual craft and an occupant land in front of millions of people, and they're going to have to witness something.
Yeah. What sucks is if a
UFO
crashed with us, they're going to come and take it away from us. We won't even get a chance to even look at it.
That's where I was thinking is it's difficult to say because, they always say, oh, if it landed on the White House lawn or something like that. No, that would be covered up right away. They'll say, oh, it was a stunt we did. We were testing and all this, and all the sheeps will go, like that. I think it would be something, I don't know, maybe it would have to be like a mass sighting, I think, something that happened in multiple places at the same time. Like, let's say they visited the Earth, they didn't just land at Central Park. They landed in Kansas. They landed in London and over here and there, whatever. Like where that is indisputable that it's not because it's hard to say. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Millions of people need to witness it at one time, like he was
unless it's something that the media that it's so overwhelming that they can't cover anything up. Like, you remember that movie, the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still?
Yeah,
with Keanu Reeves. Yeah. Remember the big alien that came out in the beginning? That actually was there throughout the movie, that big one. See, something like that, it's going to be real hard to cover up. And that media will be all over that, concentrating on that. And see this giant thing. But anything small, like the government, I always feel is going to try to take over something, and the media will go, and comply with them.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I'm just talking out my butt.
No, no,
You're right.
no,
You're
no,
right,
no,
though.
no. I mean, no matter what, you're gonna have. No matter what, like we said, Ron, last time, you're gonna have your skeptics. I mean, you're just
Can't get rid
listen,
of them.
listen. There's people who believe there is no space.
Uh,
They believe that we're like surrounded by water. So
We're in a snow
all these
globe.
Yeah,
UFOs would be CGI.
in a snow globe.
We're in a snow globe. That's what it is. Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. So even with the big ship like you're talking about, there's going to be people saying that's put there by the government to put to create fear to the people, so we keep everybody in line. You know, that's the extreme conspiracy people.
But you'll never convince me that, NASA or SpaceX or anybody that goes up hasn't filmed a crystal clear craft while they were up there. I'm convinced that it's been filmed already. They've seen the different species of beings. I'm convinced that's happened already. Can't change my mind on that.
So, and the reason this whole topic is up because Anthony, you have an idea, and having an idea is the first step of everything. You have an idea, and then you run with it. You test it out. You grow with it. You listen, and you have this name of an alliance where like a safe zone for people to send data to. Because one of the questions, first of all, let's say this: what's the name? What's the name? I know names could change, but as of right now, what's the name of the alliance you're thinking of?
UFO Research Alliance.
And that's it. When I listen to it, it's more like a safe zone. But before we get into in depth on what you wanted to feel to be, you have a group out there already. They call MUFON, and I want to try to do some comparisons. Like, so, here's MUFON. We all have heard of MUFON. If I understand right,
The Mutual
MUFON is a
UFO
place
Network.
that you report your videos, your sightings. So say I caught something on camera. I'm going to report it to MUFON. What does it go from there with them? Because I want to do comparison what you're planning to do.
All right. So like my friend Jesse Peak, he's a MUFON agent, right? So depending on what the sighting is, that you go on their website and you type in your sighting, where it was, what time, and what it looked like, and all the basic stuff like that, kind of like doing a police report. And then from there, whether the craft left any trace evidence or anything like that, they may send an investigator out to go talk to neighbors or maybe go take soil samples or whatever. But from there, everything stays in-house with MUFON. It doesn't get released to the public. There's certain things that you could go on MUFON and read, but like all their all the investigative work that they do, that all stays in-house with them. You can't go to a site and read like what did where the trace elements that came back, where do they think the origin of the craft came from, nothing like that you could find. So my whole goal is to have footage send in. We'll go out, we'll go to these different locations, we'll look for the trace elements. I want to have the samples sent to laboratory, trusted private laboratories. Because like Ron and I were just having a discussion. If he just brought to my attention, if you send stuff like that to universities, it'll go to die because they're all in cahoots with the government, right? So we'll probably need to send it out to private laboratories for testing, so nobody could take the find from us. And then we'll go from there. I want it to be open sourced, where everybody could send us their information and they could come and they can look at all our findings at any given time.
But doesn't make sense. Not with your stuff. What you're talking about, you're going to get feedback to person. But so if somebody submits it, what I'm hearing from you, if somebody submits to MUFON, they do their research with the guy. Do they even come back and tell you found something? And because you send it to MUFON, are you allowed to show it now?
All I can tell you is from my personal experience. I've sent sightings and footage to MUFON before. You get issued a case number. I've never been able yet to go on there and find all the information out, what they found from my case. Matter of fact, the last time I submitted something to them was like 2017. and they still haven't got to it yet. Was the last time I had found, and that was recently. I had asked somebody that worked for MUFON, can you find out like what was the outcome from my case? They didn't even get to it yet. So
See, I hate that.
that bothers me too.
Because to figure out if something's real or not, you need data, and you need to see all the sightings, and you need to share it so everybody can share it together. If you don't know if you caught something or not, and you're not sharing it to other people because you sent it to MUFON, and it's just going to sit there for 2-3 years, it's doing nobody good.
Don't get me wrong. That's just one of my cases that I'm aware of that they haven't got to yet. And I'm sure they get millions of cases going into them. You know what I'm saying? You got to give MUFON credit, though. I mean, they're one of them and the National UFO Reporting Center are the two major hubs for sending information in, and a team will go out to do the investigations. I don't know of any that have, the information coming in, the videos coming in, teams going out collecting evidence and then sharing it back with the findings back with the public. That I'm not familiar if anybody does
How
that.
is MUFON budget? I mean, are they contracted with the government? How did they get their money? Because if you can't make money,
Donations,
able to even do it in the first place.
donations and memberships is how they,
Donations and memberships.
they sell books, they sell their memberships.
That's the thing with me, Anthony. If I'm a member, I want the data to be seen. I want
Open
everybody
source,
to see it because
right?
what
Open
am I
source.
paying for? I'm paying for this money for Anthony and guys like Ron send stuff in and nobody ever sees it. I mean, Ron, you showed me a website on NASA where if you want to see picture video shots, you can. So,
But that's the thing. That's what all these people say. Even this phony dude, the Brandon Fugel from the Skinwalker Ranch. When I get the data, we're going to make it open. We're going to put it out there.
Never see it.
He doesn't put anything out there. All he puts out there is his words on Twitter and then comes up with excuses. He's a private company. He's privately owned. I don't care who hired. But again, once you get a government people on there, that's why it's nothing.
Right
and that's it. They all say the same thing. Even Avi Loeb, we're going to put this in. And no, he's not. And you know why he's not? Because he already has government people on that project. Galileo project. People affiliated with the government. Elizondo's connected with the Galileo project. Anything they find is not going to see the light of day. That's done. Galileo project, that's done. That's why I gave up on that right away as soon as I seen the names.
That's why
it's not going to happen.
We keep it private with us. You know what I'm saying? We don't allow none of those government hacks in.
See,
but that's what I'm saying. That's why I suggested right away. Like we get data, we put it out there in a database, let the world look at it. We have the original, we put it out there as raw files. That's where people at universities or other people that have labs and all that can go, let me take a look at this. Let me see what's up with this. And then you get all minds. Like you get, instead of 3 brains, we'll get friggin' who knows how many brains and
a huge conglomerate of collaboration is what you're looking for. Yeah,
that's it. Listen, I mean, you'll have a lot of bickering back and forth over the data, but that's what you want because that's how you find stuff. You know,
that's right.
See, private companies, they're allowed to do whatever they want with their money. I got nothing against what they want to use with their money. But as soon as they're making money off of it, off of you watching their show, watching this, then I feel they're obligated then to show the data because they're making money off of you. If they're not making any money off of you and they're doing this data for themselves, so be it. But once you take memberships or TV viewers, money coming in, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Then you should be obligated. Like if I'm a member, God damn it. If you don't want to show the UFO to other people, fine. But if I'm a member, you better show it to me because I'm giving you my money. It's like I'm investing in the company. I own part of the company. Like
I look at it this way.
You're a part owner.
I look at it this way. Granted, we're going to need a ton of money, donations. We're going to have to figure out how all of that works. We are not even in the infancy stage yet. We're like in the sperm just met the egg stage of this project. All right. You're going to need we're going to need a lot of money. We're going to need a lot of equipment and we're going to need a lot of cooperation from the public, the media, and laboratories that study this stuff, but not just any old laboratory. We're gonna need trusted laboratories. You know what I mean? That have worked with other companies like MUFON and stuff like that, and they have a good relationship with getting the data and keeping the information private. So we can privately release it to to the public, open source.
What I'm going to do is a few of our friend channels. Talk about friends of the channel.
Yeah.
Some of them got some UFO sightings and all that, and so I want when we talk about how to what's part of the valuation process of looking at a video, that these people know. They're not going to take it to heart that we're trying to say they're wrong, it's fraud. They know that we're doing this for science. We're trying to learn together. So this one came from Danny Stratton channel called Strange Aircraft Makes Weird Sound. So let's pretend Danny just caught this video and he sends it to us. And where will we start? Kind of a talk. Here we go. You see the red dot up there.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I need to tell people the name of this one. Strange Aircraft Makes Weird Noise.
So this object that we're looking at right now is what?
Danny, what Danny,
is that the UFO? Because that looks like a helicopter to me. I can even hear the propeller. So
yeah, that looks that's the one I was saying the last time. Looked like a helicopter to me.
I even hear the rotor.
Danny just wrote, just so you know, Ron Anthony's fault. I started looking up, which is good.
Good man.
And which is good. Now, even if this is a flat out helicopter, you could say, hey, you probably, if this is our company,
he said he thought it was a black chopper. Is what he thinks.
So, Anthony, if I was you, I mean, I think if I was you, you'll probably respond it back to him and say, this footage here is probably a helicopter, and this is why. You probably give the reasons why, but keep looking up. You probably would give a response.
No, you see, because that's step one was he said he thought it was a black helicopter. So right there, he's letting me know that it could be, a special access program, like the military, private corporations use those black helicopters, and they're seen around a lot of UFO sightings, these black helicopters, right? But if there was a UFO involved there with a black helicopter, well, then we would evaluate the witness. We would go get whatever kind of data collection we would get. We would take the footage. We would send that out for analysis to see if anything can be enhanced from it and pulled from it and all that kind of stuff. And we would go from there.
Now, I got a brand new one from Danny that he hasn't even put up on his channel yet. But Danny, when I took it from you, it rewrote the words with numbers. So if you can tell us where you saw this, so we all kind of get an idea where this is at. I appreciate
Carolina.
it. But
hey, did you guys start watching The Expanse yet?
I have not.
No, not yet.
Better do it.
I know there's so many shows. Here we go.
No, you're gonna like this one, Eric.
The video unique code that your browser doesn't support. Doesn't support this? Well, what if I do this?
What does it play on, Ron? Paramount, Netflix?
Oh, I downloaded it. Oh, hold on, The Expanse. I'll tell you right now.
I'll watch it when I go up.
It says it's on. You can watch if you have Prime Video.
All right, good. I got that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, all that.
Got it.
Okay.
Let's rock and roll.
And it's good. There were 6 seasons, so they're working, I think, on the 7th or whatever. So you'll be able to time to catch up. It'll be like a whole new thing.
I'm watching The Last of Us. I'm like hooked.
I haven't seen that yet.
Quick. I don't have the link up yet for tomorrow, but Nona Boss, Marty, I'll have her uploaded tonight for her Bigfoot encounter story for tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in a Bigfoot encounter, her story is good. It's different than last week's. I think you guys will really like it. I just don't have it uploaded yet.
That sounds great.
So here we go.
Who sent this in, Eric? Who sent this in, Eric?
Danny, he hasn't uploaded it yet. This is actually an exclusive.
But what did he film it off of, the TV?
Yeah, looks like it. Or a
Hey,
monitor.
Danny, can you give us any information, more information all about this, Danny? Tell us where it was, where it's at. Was this from somebody else? Because I hear a woman's voice, not yours. Here, I'll play again.
See, that's why I always say make sure it's your footage when you send it in.
Yep. That just looks like a plane coming in.
Yeah, right on approach.
That's all it looks like. Yep.
Because that light is like an FAA pattern. flash.
And that could be just a smaller kind of Cessna ones that they have the faster bookers too.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay,
a
so
point.
someone sent it to him from Florida. So Anthony, say that somebody wants to submit this to you. What
I
would
would
you
take
want them to put? What would you want them to put?
I
They
would-
need to prove, first of all, it's their footage.
Right.
They're gonna have. There's probably gonna be a form we'll create because a lot of people could say, "Oh, here's this footage I got, and it's not theirs,"
Right.
and they got it for someone, so they have to prove it. Anthony, go ahead. You do your thing.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
number one, a video like this, I could tell just from personal experience that it's filmed off the television. I wouldn't accept that. And not because I don't think it's real or anything like that, just because it's filmed off the TV and that already distorted the footage. Granted that the three of us are seasoned researchers and we can tell what the object is by the flash pattern on the light, it appears to Ron and I that it's a plane on approach. Okay, the flash that you keep seeing is your standard FAA flash pattern on that, and like Ron said, I'm gonna have to agree. I think it's a small plane like a Cessna. Aside from that,
So
when you submit footage in to us now, it's going to have to be your footage. You're going to have to prove that you filmed it. We're going to want the metadata for it. We may even ask you to send us the SD card that you filmed it on. And when we're done collecting the data,
And
we'll
the
send
raw file,
the
like
raw file.
when you take a photo, like say with a Canon, the extension will be like .cr3. That's the raw file, a CR3 file. That and whatever the raw is of the video you take. That's it, not one that you ran through an editor already. Anything.
Right.
Send us the raw image files, and we'll do that part of it.
We'll enhance it. We'll zoom it in. We'll take care of all of that. You know.
So I would recommend that the website, whatever,
Of
would
course.
have instructions on how to get that raw data, because most people won't even know how to get data. How do you get that?
I'll set something up. I'll set some up, kind of a portal. I'll set up a user a submission portal to make it easy, so it doesn't have to be sent through Gmail and here and this and that, and then it starts getting compressed,
Right.
and all this and that.
Because that makes it worse too. That's why it's better to get the actual.
I'll set up a portal where it's like an FTP server that'll be a direct transfer over, and we'll figure that part out. We'll get that done.
That's
still
why
in the planning stages.
the actual SD card sending it into us would be the best bet. And not
I was
only
going to say
that,
that. That'd
we'll
probably
have
be
to
easy.
also, if you send in an actual SD card, we will submit a form back to you letting you know you relinquished SD card number such and such to us at such and such a
Yeah,
date.
like a chain of custody form.
Like a chain of custody form, right.
Okay. Because that's probably the easiest, because somebody's like, I don't know how to do data, but if I could just send you the card, that's easy. Slip it in. And of course,
Yeah, but not everybody's going to want to ship it, because what if somebody has a 128 gig card that they paid $60 for, they're not going to want to send that in. So that's why I want to also give them an option of a very simple portal. Everybody's able to sign up for Facebook, sign up for Gmail. They'll be able to sign up for the portal just to log in, and it'll say attach file, and they can attach it.
Oh, I know.
You know?
Like this card here is 2 terabytes.
Exactly. Would you want to send that?
This is like $300. I would not.
I'm not telling you to send in a $300 card to me. Some of these are $10. If you got a little $10 card that you can do away with for a couple of days while we're pulling data off it.
Yeah,
Send
and,
it in
and
and we'll
most
send it
cameras.
back.
But
and
the
most
only thing
cameras,
is,
these are not expensive unless you want to pay the expensive price.
again, everybody, so because being that this is all still in the planning phases,
Yeah, right.
we'll be talking about that because with the data, when you catch it, we don't really want you doing anything with it because transferring everything like that, you start degrading it like that. So
Yeah.
it's the rawest of the four. Well, you'll know also.
Well, when the website's up and Ron and I and Eric work out all the logistics, you'll get all that
Yeah.
information. There's
I
going
just
to be
want
a
to.
whole thing
I
that
just
we
wanted
got to
the
go
people to
through.
know, like, what if they're going to film now, looking up, what do you use, SD cards, the kind of stuff. Prepare themselves, start looking up because more people look up, more people footages. It's better for everybody, right?
Yeah.
You never know what day or what night you're going to catch something because a lot of it is just luck. Not everybody has that magic where you do a flashlight and they're going to appear. That doesn't happen every day.
And no, Danny, there would be no reason to replace a card. If you send a card, we're only going to need it for a day or two to pull all the data out of it. If you even send a card, there'll be another option for you, and then the card will be sent right back to you.
Yeah.
With the original footage on it. We only have to download it off. That's all.
Yeah. And like I said, there's different prices for cards. I mean,
Yeah.
like this one is not really the card. It's actually the little mini SD that goes into
That's
the
what
big
I have.
one.
My little mini SDs are what I use for my my psionics.
They go anywhere from $5 to $100. It all depends on.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about the card thing, folks, yet. Just don't stress it right now.
Yeah,
like that.
We'll figure it out. Ron's a genius when it comes to tech. He'll figure out a system.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna
I
show
wish
you
I was a genius.
You're a
another
smart dude, Ron. Don't shy away
UFO
from that title.
over. This is UFO over South Carolina. Now this is South Carolina, so I'm guessing this one really is from Danny.
Yeah, this looks like an actual piece of footage.
The fuck is that?
You sure that's not somebody's porch light through the trees?
Look, see, I hope people can really get a good look at this thing because it don't look that great on camera.
That's Danny.
But it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, that's Danny. You can hear it.
Now, here's another thing that I would request. If you guys are going to be filming objects that you believe to be unidentified flying objects, please film them from the beginning of the sighting until you lose the sighting, okay? Even if it's the smallest little dot that you can't see anymore, film it the whole entire time that it's there, from beginning to end.
Try to note the time and the
time, date, weather conditions, how high up you thought it was, all of that stuff.
Oh, I gotta.
That's all helpful. And that'll all be in the web form like that. So you could just fill out. We'll set it where it's drop downs and all that you could just select and boom, boom, boom. Was it cloudy? Was it raining? Was it sunny?
Everything. There'll be a mission statement, how to submit footage, what you need to do, what we request. There'll be videos on there that you can watch that were submitted to us, our findings on there eventually, who we're working with, where data is going to be sent, and what laboratories we use, everything. It's all going to be open source to the public.
And I think this is important, what Pam Smith's saying. Use a blank new card when you're researching. If you're going to do a research, I would not use the same card that you have your pictures on there.
Well, here's the problem, Eric, with that. A UFO can appear at any time. Somebody might only have their cell phone on.
That's true.
And, that's what they film with. And at that point, somebody's not going to send you their cell phone. So there'll be a way for them to send us data without it getting compressed. I'm sure Ron knows a way they could do that.
Yeah, well, know what a boss wrote? People could send you a self-address stamped envelope. So after you get the footage,
exactly, we can send the right
card back to them.
That's exactly what I was
just make sure, send me your Apple iPhone 13s and all that. Don't want nothing below that.
And your PIN codes. Yeah. And your bank account number and router.
I'll send you back an Etch-a-Sketch.
and why this is important.
Etch-a-Sketch.
Well, this is important. While work on the alliance thing behind the scenes, people can still send you guys footage right now if they want. Personally,
of course.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'm not bringing this up just for the alliance. This is what people could do even now if they find it, if they catch something and they want someone to take a look at it.
Certainly.
You can still send it to Anthony, myself, or Ron. You know, we'll take a look at it. So let me pull that one off. Do satellites disappear? So somebody did a video and they were questioning, do satellites disappear? Let me see. Let me pull it up.
They do. Because here's what happens with satellites. Even though Iridium class satellites were decommissioned, they rephased in a new set of Iridium class satellites. However, the solar sails allegedly don't reflect the sunlight back in the same intensity as they used to. But a lot of times what you're seeing is a satellite reflecting off the sunlight. Even though it's dark down here, that object's still in space passing the sun. And the solar arrays on them catch the sunlight while it's passing. You get a big bright flash and then it dissipates. That's normally, what a lot of people witness and they assume it's a UFO.
Well,
You'd be surprised how many times Venus they get.
True.
So that's what somebody was catching.
Disappeared. So I don't know if satellites do that or what, but last night we captured another possible orb. We're at the shop right now. Another possible orb up on the San Gabriel Mountains. There's these towers up there with satellites and all types of I don't know what they're transmitting and receiving.
Talking about, repeaters and
whatnot.
stuff.
And I did a little short video up there. And the other night, we're headed up that way. My brother and I spotted an orange orb. And then it disappeared before our eyes. And next to the orb were the lights of the towers and whatnot. So off to the side was this orb that was shining a lot brighter, a lot different than the towers. And it was that orange, high pressure sodium color, and it disappeared. Last night, I was up the same road, spotted the orb again, and it did the same thing. It blinked out, but I was at a stoplight, popped out my camera, recorded, and the light switched, so it was time for me to go. I put the camera down, and I didn't get to capture when it disappeared, but I did capture the orb, so I'll post that in the shorts.
What I do appreciate, at least.
What do you mean we're like Star Wars, the Alliance? What are you talking about? We're nothing like Star Wars over here, right?
Well, one of the main reasons also that I put his word up is Slow Motion is a member of the channel. I apologize. I didn't know there was a Slow Motion. Actually, people who are members in the channel, later today, I'm going to do a whole spoiler on the movie the Scream for members only. So I'll spoil the shit out of it.
Hey, what's up, Lee?
So members of the channel today, about in 2 hours, I'm just going to jump on. And if you guys want to hear about the movie Scream, jump on, members. And I'll tell you the real honest feeling of the show Scream. Well, the guy who turned that video in, at least he said he doesn't know.
Well, I will say this.
Satellite disappearing. So at least honesty is good.
Two things I wanted to say about that. One, yes, satellites do disappear. Two, satellites fly on the same trajectory. They don't change course or anything like that. They just fly in a straight line. And three, he mentioned something that he witnessed that on a mountain. And another thing that could have been is something called a rare earth light. You see them a lot on mountains. They're just orbs of light. They float on the mountain range and then they disappear. What they are, we have no clue yet, but it could be a rare earth light. You know?
I mean, you don't know. but still capture it, still get it on camera because you never know.
Great
Because what
job,
if?
great job
Because
capturing it, even through the street lights and everything, because light pollution's a big problem.
let me ask you a question then. On you said that the mountain, it could be like a light. Now, what if somebody has seen that every day? Is there some kind of a pattern that those kind of lights you're talking about that could be happens on a regular basis, or is it just like once in a while of the
I
data
mean,
that we do
well,
have? On
not to be rude, but they're called rare earth lights because they happen rarely. They don't happen every day.
rare,
But a
okay.
lot of people say, I see the same UFO outside my house every night. If you're seeing the same UFO outside your house every night, it's not an extraterrestrial craft. Willing to bet 99.9% we can identify it as either a planet, a star, or something along those lines.
Well, what if ET has a certain booty call out there in the woods? He goes there every night. Just joking.
I
haven't
really,
seen it yet.
let me tell you something. I used to always hope, and I think I still do hope. Like, you remember, I wanted to be like Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk was a cosmic pimp. He was like, he would be banging every kind of alien. He didn't care if she had scales, if she was purple with green polka dots, with a split tongue. I admired him, and I always wish that some purple split tongue scaly female alien would just come and get me. I'm telling you.
You know what's funny, Ron?
1 minute, Mike. I'm downloading it.
What you just said is exactly when the new cartoon comes out. I thought of Captain Kirk and the alien girls. And that's why the first scene is almost that scene with a character. So I know exactly.
I love it.
Somebody has a question. I saw that he had as a question here. Have you heard of the
Marfa lights?
Marfa lights?
I have not. Are those well, actually, are those the lights that the people park their cars at the top of the road to see it over out in the distance? Is that what you're talking about? Because that sounds familiar.
What is Marfa lights? Here, let me pull up the screen. Share screen.
And while
on
you're
Google.
doing that, Mike Johnson sent me a UFO sighting that he had.
Okay, we'll show that, right? Let me just put this
Well,
out here
pull
real
up your
quick.
Marfa light.
It says the Marfa lights is also known as Marfa ghost lights. Have been observed near U.S. Route 67 on Mitchell
Where the
Flat
people
East.
pull their cars to go see the lights. Yeah, I'm familiar with this.
Yeah, they have gained some fame as onlookers have attributed to the paranormal phenomenon such as ghosts, UFO. Okay, so they are lights. So let's check out this other video.
So this is Mike Johnson's.
Oh, sorry.
I took the sound off because it was on TikTok. So now it's that white dot dead center. Now, you filmed this with your phone or a plane? Because it's like standard elevation for a plane. I think you caught it, and your camera didn't focus on the wings. Or like Ron said, a balloon. Were you driving when you did that, Mike? There goes another plane.
Here's a question for Anthony.
The black triangle thing. Did you text it to me or did you send it to me a messenger, Danny? The black triangle thing.
Yes. And these videos are important where if somebody was submitting that to you, like you said, it's got to come from the original camera.
No, Danny.
And they got to have details, right? And much details
Good job,
that
Mike.
you can put in.
See, now, like something like that, after we're done with the show, I'll be zooming in on that and then enhancing that object to see what I could pull out. I'll message you after the show, Mike, because I want to enhance that footage and see what I get from it. And Danny, if you want to text it to me again, you sent me a blow up.
Last one, and then only reason I'm showing this, I know Kentucky. You have a buddy that's in Kentucky is always catching something in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So here's another person that's not him. Witness description: fireball in the sky, all going the same direction. There were 12 of them in Kentucky. Let's see.
Blew it up.
What do you mean, those?
Yeah.
This was a month ago.
I think I know what it
It
is.
is moving pretty fast, isn't it?
Yeah, here comes another one too, Jeremy.
It's almost caught up to the others. Look, they all go
See, the
right,
others.
disappear.
Yeah, you know what that is?
Hmm.
Chinese lanterns.
It's not a paper lantern.
I couldn't tell you.
What
I
is
just
it?
want to take a video.
I think it's Chinese lanterns. I mean, they're
Oh,
practically
damn, there's
tree
another
height.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And you see them coming from the ground up.
12.
12.
Well,
You've seen 12 of them.
no
I
doubt.
think it's Chinese lanterns. I think.
That ain't no jet.
No, because they've got black behind them. Something
No, they
black.
don't. No, they don't.
Yeah, the distance of them, probably.
Right? And how they're coming from the ground up, Ron?
Yep.
Oh, we're quick.
And they all look uniform.
I'd say
Mhm.
so.
Did you look uniform?
My
Same
favorite camera
speed.
work is
Yep.
doing good.
So
They're-
the
they're-
wind.
They're flying with the wind current.
Why would they all be going
Yeah.
to the same fucking spot?
Mm.
See, why would they go in all the same
Exact
spot?
same spot.
Say,
Weird.
yeah, that's what I think it is. See, one higher, the other one
So
lower.
you got it. What?
Up. They're definitely Chinese lanterns.
So what is it? Black hot.
Mm. That could just be that X-ray filter, Ron.
Yeah.
Just as the video inversion.
See, that's the thing I don't like because look, see how that shit comes right in front of the branches.
Danny, this is it. Stanton.
And then I want to have fun with a video that's from this little channel. You guys might have never heard of this channel. I think it's called Unidentified S4 channel. And I'm going to play a video that he put together and made. I didn't even ask for his permission. Screw that guy. If he wants to put a strike on me, let him.
I'll take care of him if he bothers you, Eric. Don't worry.
UFO sightings are not a new topic in the city of New York. Reports have circulated for decades, suggesting that unidentified flying objects are more than just a figment of the imagination. Prior to 2020, the city saw only a handful of reports annually. However, that all changed in the year 2021, when New York City experienced a spike in UFO sightings. According to reports, New Yorkers began reporting sightings of strange objects in the sky at an unprecedented rate. In the first few months of 2021, there were a total of 64 UFO sightings reported to the New York State, MUFON, Network and Unidentified S4. By the end of the year, that number had almost quadrupled, rising to 186 reports. The majority of these incidents took place in the boroughs of Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. Each of these areas has a long history of reported UFO sightings. One ufologist by the name of Anthony Esemplare has made a career out of watching the sky for unidentified flying objects. Anthony and his team, comprised of 4 members. Andy
Hey, I know
Gambino,
those
a
guys.
computer technology advisor, Ron Mason, a science and field
Probably
investigator
work for MUFON.
specialist,
They're Men in
Eric
Black
Wood, a
for them.
paranormal researcher and boots on the ground, UFO, investigator, and team leader Anthony Esemplare, a former law enforcement officer and ufologist, who has had a very strange encounter over Staten Island, NY.
Yeah.
A very
I wouldn't
active
wanna run into those
location for
guys.
strange objects. Back in 1993, Anthony was a 13-year-old young man out for a dirt bike ride one
13?
early Saturday morning in the woods by his home. It was only a few hours into his ride when he stopped to fuel up his motorcycle. He stopped, pulled over, and began to fill up. That's when Anthony noticed a huge black triangle craft floating down towards his location. At first he assumed it was a stealth bomber, but as it came closer he noticed the underside of this craft. He noted it was the strangest thing. It looked like a sheet of black glass reflecting all the foliage on its underside.
I hated that it didn't cut the video and go faster.
I know, but I really wish I want the Yoda voice. It was only a few hours into the ride when he stopped to fuel up. Yes, He stopped, pulled over. Shit comes. Yes, it did.
You're shot, bro.
I gotta warm up my voice for that. But I want Yoda so bad on this.
I swear to God, if the AI program ever
Shortly
gets
thereafter, it was
better,
reported that the craft wasn't alone. A second identical triangular object separated from the top of Object 1 and they slowly rotated counterclockwise, Anthony stated in a witness testimony. Shortly after, the objects seemed to recollect themselves and shot straight up into the sky until he could no longer see them.
just imagine being a kid seeing something like that. Still gets me.
Anthony then stated he then heard his parents screaming his name. He yelled back, "I am over here." His father ran up and grabbed Anthony, so happy to see his son. Anthony said, "What's wrong? I was here staring at a strange black object." That's when his parents told him he should have been home 5 hours ago. Anthony, confused, said it's only 12 p.m. and his parents told him no, it's 5 p.m. So where did 5 hours of missing time go? To this day, Anthony has no recollection of what happened. But this is just one story of so many accounts over the state of New York. Some of the most notable UFO sightings in New York City include Linda Napolitano, UFO abduction, the incident at Montauk, and many more. Stay tuned to Unidentified S4, there's much more to come. And if you see something that you can't explain in the sky, please reach out to Unidentified S4 and together we can unlock the truth.
I like the last part. Together. Everybody together. That's how you unlock the truth.
Let me just show something real quick, Eric, all right? Danny Stanton, is this the photo you're talking about that I enhanced for you, the triangle? But Danny sent me a black triangle UFO a couple weeks ago. I think this is it. Is this it, Danny?
Oh, his original video of that was taken down when his channel left.
Yep, that's it. All right, so check this out, guys. Now it's blown up even more because I put it on here. But Danny caught this black triangle craft in his neighborhood, and I mean it's you can clearly tell it's a black triangle. I mean, mint picture. I don't know if you have more of these, Danny, but if you got more pictures that need enhancing, send them on over because I like to really see that. I did think a hypnotic regression, slow motion, but I don't want nobody screwing around in my head.
This is what Lee wrote. I have to admit, though, the robot voice sounds
Yeah,
creepy
that
to me.
AI robot voice sucks. I'm not using that no more.
It'd be interesting to watch those videos also, like in an Aussie voice. Can you imagine that? You're like, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah, no, I actually found the program that like Morgan Freeman can read it or any actor you want, right? But then you pay for it. But I don't know then if you upload that, like, am I going to get hit for using Morgan Freeman's voice when I didn't hire him to read? Or God only knows, I don't need none of it. So I'll just read it myself from now on.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I heard people sing other people's songs, and once in a while they'll get hit with the copyright saying you doing this song, because even though you're using your voice, technically that's still to consider copyright. So
I know.
that's a whole new world where if you're paying for a voice, right? Can that person, unless that person is signed off with that company to use, can they say you can't use my voice?
Exactly, bro. Check that video out I just put down there. Multiple angles from all different people. I'm pretty sure it was in Mexico.
19 de septiembre del 2022. Una vez más, las ciudades de Rosarito, Tijuana y San Diego, en California, se convirtieron en escenario de un avistamiento masivo, en donde de nueva cuenta extraños y misteriosos objetos se posicionaron en el cielo y mar adentro.
Great catches, though. I love the multiple angles that people sent in, though. You know what I mean? Now, that last shot right there, I thought was flares until I noticed there was multiple dots. Still could be flares. I haven't made my mind up on it yet because they were stationary. But I like that there was multiple angles on it. What do you think, Ron? color combination and stuff, flares. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard. It's so hard because of. See, let me see something. How that died out and that next one popped right in. It's possible. I mean, and it even looks like there's smokiness around it.
See, that's what I thought, and then I said to myself, could they just be that bright that you're getting the
Could be lens flare or something like that.
The camera, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you got to get the data. Got to get it in and analyzed.
Well, right
Yeah,
before
because when you get that stuff, then you could, isolate everything.
Right.
Take the certain areas, sharpen them, and do certain things. Run them through the AI.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that program you have is cool, man. We did the triangle on that. That was a great idea.
I still got to do that.
That was a great idea when we did it. We ran the black triangle that I caught that time, Eric. He ran it through an AI program, and it highlighted the whole triangle like mint.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah,
I got to work that up.
Yeah.
So right
That's
before we
tonight,
go,
guys.
Let's so today at 4 p.m. West Coast time, 7 Eastern time, you got the weekend warm up from Ron, Cosmic Neighbors channel, and here's the link for it. That's today. Is it just a warm up? Do you have a similar topic you're gonna bring along with the show?
No, we just hang out and talk about whatever we want. But everybody, just so you know, on the screen when you see 4 p.m., that's Eric's time Pacific. It starts 7 p.m. like it says Eastern. Well, and everybody, Eric's going to be there tonight.
For how long?
Right? Like that, right?
1 hour.
That's the question. How long is he going to be there? That's the question.
I'm taking bets. Bets.
But just so everybody knows, I'll announce it later too. After the weekend warm up, I got to check my messages on Instagram, but it's either at 9 or 10. I'll be on with the ladies, casual encounters.
I'm gonna give everybody
a I would say that casual encounters, casual conversation.
That would be
people in the chat. You don't have to make a bet because usually when it's 5 o'clock my time is when I got to go pick up my daughter from track team.
You got to tell your son to go get his license so they can leave you alone.
Don't worry. In 20 years from now, when Eric's kids are like 44 or something like that, he's going to say, I got to go pick him off the bus.
Pick up my son.
I got to go get them. Like that.
He's a good dad.
That's all right.
He's a good dad.
And then this Sunday,
yes,
we've got
Cheryl Costa. So Cheryl Costa is a good friend of mine. She's a UFO statistician, which means she records the data for all the UFO encounters all over the United States. She's got 50-something books out. She just released UFOs over New York. Andy and I are both in that book. We're pleased about that. She'll be on this Sunday. So will Ron and Eric. Jim Goodall asked to come on as well. So it's going to be a dynamite show. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on over and hang out. We're going to have a good time. Cheryl's dynamite, man.
Then I don't have my link up yet for tomorrow, but interview with Marty from...
Is that tonight?
This is tonight. Oh, wait. I guess you and I are clicking again. They have me at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, so that'll be tonight.
Mm-hmm. So tonight on Casual Eric, pull up Casual Conversations. Thumbnail for tonight.
Oh, yeah. I want to see if they put one up. I wonder if they have me in some kind of crazy thing like Eric made me an astronaut,
that's great. Yeah, they got you here. I see you.
Oh, you found it already?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Subscribed.
Okay. That's good.
Oh, you want me to pull it up?
Oh!
I got it. Hold on.
I thought you said you had it. Hold on.
My phone.
I'm finding it. I
got it right now, brother. Already done.
You got it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny already put the link in the chat like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, he did, huh? Is that the...
That's what's up.
When you're subscribed to so many channels, you got this big list, and none of it's in alphabet order. I don't know why I can't put it in alphabet order.
It's annoying.
Because you can't, right? Because I look to see, can I put this in alphabetical order? Because sometimes, like unidentified S4 would be near the top.
You know what
Okay.
I did though now? I stopped sharing all the channels that I engage with. I just took it down off my thing. Because it's like 700 different channels you got to scroll through. It's just a waste of
Yes.
time.
It's hard. It's like it just builds and builds and builds.
What
You
they
know
need
that.
to do is put a little search bar up there where you can just hit the first letter of the
Ooh.
channel, like P for Paranormal Highway, and it goes right to Paranormal
Bro,
Highway.
oops, I need to fix that. Uh-oh. Did
What? It
Ron
looks
already
good?
screwed up your channel already?
Oh, I don't know what they want to fix.
What? Oh, she wrote Cosmin.
Oh, that's all right because the little aliens, his name is Cosmo. So
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
You could
Cosmin.
call me. You could call me Jasmine tonight. All right.
Jasmine.
And then,
I don't care about that. That's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly, right? If it was out,
Yeah, that don't bother me at all.
so much better.
but nothing's as good as this one. Seeing
Oh,
Ron
this is
flying.
great. When I saw him as the astronaut, I was cracking up laughing, man. Because that would be how it would be. Me and you in a UFO and Ron holding on in the spacesuit.
Yeah, don't forget me, guys.
guys.
Well,
Yeah.
I couldn't fit a third person in that UFO ship.
What
and
are
I
you saying?
said,
I'm
"You know what?"
fat, Eric?
I said, what if I put him in a astronaut and have him like trying to hang on to the UFO ship like he's flying?
I can see Eric going, puncture his suit, Anthony, puncture his suit. He's dead weight.
Shake him off, Eric. He's dead weight.
But beyond that, I hope everybody enjoys today. Today's kind of more relaxed, laid back, and one last thing from Anthony.
Forgetting it's Friday. Tomorrow night's the big night, everybody. My Travis Walton interview live from Roswell UFO Expo, 9 p.m. Over on UFO Man's channel. We'll be streaming live from the UFO Expo in Roswell, New Mexico, hanging out with Travis Walton, and some very special guests are going to pop up while we're live with Travis. So please come check that out. It's going to be dynamite. And then, of course, Saturday night, the legend is on. Mr. Lee G himself, First Floor Audio. I'm dropping the link in the chat right now. Set your reminders for that as well, please.
But man, I wonder who's the special guest. Is it going to be E.T.?
I can't say. There's going to be there should be a few famous faces meeting us tomorrow as well.
Ooh, now I'm curious. But you know what's going to happen, right? Anthony's going to be talking. They're going to say hi. But me and Ron will be in the chat, say hi. But he won't say hi to us. He'll forget that we even exist.
Kidding me?
I'm joking. Everybody, have a great weekend. And we'll see everybody on everybody else's channel today. So see you next time.